Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another special episode of Herschel Talkers. Got a great return guest here, friend of the podcast here, Justin. How you doing today?
How we doing, Trey? Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for coming back on. Make sure to like and subscribe and share the podcast. Try to send it to a friend and family. That'd be great. Jumping right into it, Georgia gets a great, as I call it, get back game. Auburn 42-10. Yeah, it was really good. They got the running game going. Branson Robinson 12 carries for 98 yards. To me, looks like a little mini Nick Chubb Jr., which is great. Dejan Robinson, who's emerging as probably the top running back, 12 carries, 83 yards, 3 touchdowns. Defense looked great. I know we were only up 14-0 at halftime, but we really started rolling in the second half. Covered the spread, which is good, right, Justin? Because good teams win, great teams cover, which is good.
Yeah.
But
Also, another version of that.
I had to throw it in there because Justin likes to, throw his bets out there casually. I was texting him all week. I was like, why is this 30 points? And I think even Justin goes, Trey, I'm telling him they're going to get up for him coming off a bad game. I wouldn't take that. But anyway, I'm glad I'm not a bettor. I used to be, but I'm not. But anyway, he was right on that one. But defense looked great. Gave a really bad. I think the backups ran poor tackle. I think 3 people tried to tackle the wide receiver and kind of rolled out. So a junk touchdown at the end. But if I had to get real nitpicky and got me worried going down the long stretch, then Stetson Bennett did not look himself. I think he was 7 of 13 for 25 yards in the first half. Ended up 23 of 32 for 208. So it looked a little better. And he did have a 64-yard run. He's got some wheels, but has not thrown a touchdown in 3 games, which is kind of concerning. But a good, get back game, 42-10. Georgia defense looks great. We did move up from number 2 to number 1. Not sure if I really agree with that. We'll probably look at that down later in the podcast. But Justin, as an unbiased fan, what was your thoughts on the Georgia game?
Yeah. Obviously I'm not paying attention play by play, but I still don't feel like your season has started. I don't think it'll start next week. You guys are always 30-point favorites, minus the Missouri game. It's just been kind of blowouts.
Yeah.
So I think your season really starts Florida. That'll kind of be a good test, and then Tennessee on deck. So really excited to see what you guys are made of. But so far so good. Number 2 in the nation, though. I don't know yet.
I agree. What was your thoughts really quick on that Missouri game where we sleepwalking? We just didn't take them serious on the road. That was a head scratcher.
Yeah, it was. Maybe it was just like a bad situation for you guys.
Right.
Possibly just kind of sleepwalking, going through the motions a little bit and got caught.
Yeah.
But some of the stuff that was going on was a bit uncharacteristic.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, good win, get right game as I called it. But moving along to this week, we've got Vanderbilt. It's going to be in Athens, 3:30 game, SEC Network. So it's good we're getting 3:30 games and not those snoozer 12 o'clock games. But it is going to be during the big head-to-head matchup for Alabama at Tennessee. So I'm sure all eyes on that. I'm actually probably going to this game, so might have earpiece in, paying attention to that game. But 38-point spread. It is Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is respectful 3-3, so that's good for them. Don't really know much about Vanderbilt. Looks like quarterback's okay, 8 touchdowns, 48 yards. They did hang around with Ole Miss last week. I believe they were up at a certain point, right, Justin? Maybe late in the second, or was it a halftime? And then Ole Miss started rolling. So, I mean, competitive team. It is Vanderbilt. 38, these spreads are crazy, 38-point spread. But what I would like to see is Bennett is a little banged up from what I hear. I hope he gets going, get him in, get him out, get the running game going again. Hopefully no injuries, real little banged up. Got the bye week next week, much needed. And then we'll have Florida. And as Justin mentioned, a gauntlet coming up. But go ahead and make a pick. I'm thinking I got 49-7. I like us to cover if you did. I'm gonna go 49-7. It's always hard just to shut a team out, but I could see them moving the ball a little bit, maybe on the backups, get a late touchdown in the maybe the fourth. But I'm gonna go 49-7. What's your thoughts on this game, real quick?
Yeah,
This last
what is
week.
Georgia's approach here? Kind of curious with that because you have the bye week. So is everyone going to go full out and get rest on the bye week, or maybe heal up some wounds with some of the key guys that are kind of suffering injuries?
Yeah, I think it's they've been banged up. Like Jalen Carter's probably gonna sit out. I do want to know if our two top wide receivers, AD Mitchell, who hasn't hardly played at all with a sprained ankle, and we also have Arian Smith, who's probably one of the fastest guys in the SEC, just can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
I think he played a couple of snaps last week, but he's like missed. He's played in 6 games in like 48 or 49 weeks, or out of his whole career. So he's a problem when he's in there. He's just always been so injury prone. But
Mhm.
maybe get those guys in on some reps. I wouldn't mind seeing Carson back because, as you know, you're one play away. Alabama, look at them. Bryce Young being banged up, so I wouldn't mind getting. I just want to get some reps, get the backups in, get some more experience, to just kind of fine tune some things. And next week heal up, which will be great. But if we can get Jalen Carter and those wide receivers back for like Florida and at least for Tennessee, I think we'll be okay. But so if you
Yeah.
had to make a pick on this game, Justin made 49-7. Any idea? Just throwing out there. And
Yeah.
would you touch
Well,
this at all, or go with the
yeah.
under? Looks like the
Well,
under's 58.
from a betting perspective, I'm going to see who's if you guys are going to unleash, all your weapons. I think this is going to be a first half play for me.
Right.
I just don't see Vanderbilt doing anything. Maybe in the second half when all the backups are in, but
Right.
30-0, something like that at half.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, get him in.
yeah, and then who knows, second half.
Exactly. But I did like another positive thing. I did like what we saw from our offensive line, because that really they looked soft and just didn't look at their heads weren't in it the week before. So that was great to get that going.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we take care of business. Just get in, get out with no injuries, and get ready for the bye week.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And then just after a great workout and possibly some tailgating, Justin, are you ever craving some Viva Tequila seltzer? And what's your favorite flavor, you think, if you had to pick?
Yeah, those are becoming my like go-to beverages. Pool parties, tailgates, everywhere. Just because there's zero sugar, zero carbs. I really feel like I'd never get a hangover with them. So perfect for football. I think by far the elderberry is it's delicious. They're all pretty good, but that elderberry is something else.
Yeah. I personally do like the elderberry. I did try that. Drink it for the Georgia South Carolina. Might be taking up to Athens and drinking a couple of those in Athens this weekend for the Vanderbilt game, little pregame.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely trying that out. Might try the watermelon or the grapefruit. Got some of those. Also, to get 10% off Hustle, promo code is 10%. Put Hustle in there. Also, Justin, you might know what's the best way for them to order it, because I believe you can't really order tequila in certain grocery stores. So is everything online, or
So
what's
right
the best
now,
way to order it?
Yeah, right now I go to vivatequilaseltzer.com. And then I always use the promo code HUSTLE to get the 10% off. But ships pretty fast. They're delicious. They're light. Can't go wrong with them.
Awesome. Yeah, everyone try that out. Vivatequilaseltzer.com hashtag or promo code 10% off Hustle. And also check them out on Instagram at I believe it's at Viva Seltzer. So yeah, great sponsor of the program. And jumping right into it, gonna roll with some of the games Justin wanted to look at for all those betting people out there. Always like looking at the spread. First one we're gonna look at little Baylor Bears. Looks like on the road at West Virginia, Mountain Highway, Country Road, take me home. Hey, and our boy JT Daniels, ex Georgia guy, I always pull for him because he's a good dude. But we got Baylor on the road, 7 p.m. Fox Sports 1. Looks like 3.5 point spread. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, first of all, can we just talk baseball playoffs, opening night in hockey? Wednesday college football, Thursday college football,
Yeah.
NFL weekend, college football. My brain's about to explode this week, so I just can't handle it.
That is good. What are you gonna do with those Mac Tuesdays come out? Mac Tuesdays, Mac Wednesdays. You love those, right?
It's too much. But for this Baylor West Virginia game, there's no Donaldson. That's the tight end. That's like a converted running back. I think he was a stud. That's a bigger deal than people think. He averaged 6.9 yards a carry.
Wow.
Baylor's D, in my opinion, is pretty good. That Iku guy on D, he's an absolute monster. I also secretly think that West Virginia's head coach, I think he's on the hot seat already. So for Thursday night, give me Baylor, give me the under on there.
Okay. Great. I like that. Yeah, I like Baylor too. Looking at it a little bit, didn't really look at this game too much, but I like Dave Miranda. Really good defensive minded coach. So yeah, I'd roll with that too. I like that pick. I do like JT Daniels. I think they are 2-3, but I hope they he can get some wins coming up and at least get a draft positioning, and maybe a team will give him a look because he seems like a good dude, smart quarterback, not really mobile. So
yeah. I'm just thinking that time is running out for West Virginia.
Yeah, I agree. Clock's ticking. Maybe they'll get to burn some couches. So we'll see. Jumping right into another interesting win. UTSA Roadrunners, Florida International Panthers.
So
CBS
Trey,
Sports Net.
You're not going to know much about this, and I wanted to bring this up because FIU has to be the worst college football program in the nation right now.
Wow.
They had no money for recruiting. They fired their coach. They're on a skeleton crew. They're using shoulder pads from Michigan. They're 1-9 ATS. And so from a betting perspective, I'm going to keep rolling with that. I mean, these guys are just defeated in every way possible. They've already looked like they've given up. So UTSA is coming in there. They can definitely sling it. It's a large spread, but I'm going to keep riding with it. I mean, this game does have blowout potential. It's not going to be a big bet of mine, but I'm definitely going to keep riding the wave. So UTSA for Friday night.
All right, man. We'll go with the fighting Roadrunners here. 33-point spread against Florida International. I mean, I will say this: looking at, they are 2-3. Are they?
Yeah, they're 1-9 ATS. You should see who they played though.
I will say this: when you lose to UConn, I mean, we're not talking basketball here because I think they won one or two games. That was a bad loss. So hey, for all you people, take a roll with UTSA minus 33 to cover.
Small bet.
I like that. All right. And then looking over to the big one, game day, huge one. I believe this is the first time both teams, Alabama, number 3 against number 6, Tennessee. I think this is the first time since 98. Is that right? That both teams have been ranked in top 10, which is crazy. Third weekend of October, Stogies smoking them out. Alabama minus 7.5 going into Knoxville. Of course, the big thing is Bryce Young going to play or not? The Pilry, is that how you pronounce his name? Should know that. The quarterback last week. Really good legs, but a little not great throwing the ball right. It looks like he pushes it.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was not Bama standard at all. But right. Trey, if I ask you right now, who is your Heisman vote? Who would you say?
If I had to go right now, my Heisman vote, I will go Ohio State, CJ Stroud, just because 6 touchdowns last week.
Yeah.
He's just lighting it up. If he gets all those wideouts who've been banged up, watch out. I know it's a Ohio State quarterback. The most of them are usually struggling in the league, but if I had to pick, I think the front runner is CJ Stroud. Bryce Young is having a great year, but I think him being banged up down the stretch.
Well, I definitely agree with you with CJ, but my pick right now, if it ended right now, it'd be Tennessee's Hooker.
Yeah,
for sure. They
I was about
had the #1 offense. He's looked incredible, to be honest with you. I think from a betting perspective, this is interesting because Bryce Young just went through walkthroughs. Bama wants and kind of needs him to play. I think once they do announce Young is going to play, I think you might even see some movement in the line, or at least it'll hold firm at 7.5.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I know that he's not 100%. So is not 100% Bryce Young good enough to beat Tennessee? In my opinion, Tennessee's pass rush looks just completely unstoppable right now. They have the #1 offense in the country. They're going to have 100,000 people cheering them on. I'm going to take Tennessee plus 7.5, I think.
All right, definitely agree with that. Here's what I think is going to happen, just because Nick Saban is coy and he's sly, is you're not going to hear anything about Bryce Young. It's going to be, yeah, he's looking to play, he's looking to play. I think they go through warm-ups. I think Pilroy, pronounce his name right, goes through warm-ups. Bryce Young, yeah, Bryce Young comes out there. All right, you're not going to know though till game. It'll be literally game time decision when he runs out. I think. I do believe in Tennessee. Here's what I have questions about. All right, #1 in the league. Yeah, #1 total scoring offense. Yes, I agree with that. 22nd most improved defense. But what are they ranked passing defense? I looked it up. 128th. And Burton, if it's 90, 80% Bryce Young, AR-15, whatever they call him, AR Richardson put whatever 400 yards, not a great quarterback. So this thing might be a shootout, but if Bryce Young carves up, watch out. They got Jahmyr Gibbs, who's been lighting it up, running the ball.
Well, so
just
yeah,
saying that. So that's what I'm saying is the pass defense is questionable, and if Bryce Young is healthy and lights them up, just saying.
Yeah, I think Tennessee can. Tennessee's pass rush is it's unstoppable. I mean, it really is.
Right.
The pass defense, I definitely agree with you.
Right.
At the same time, I thought the Texas A&M Bama game, I thought Texas A&M could throw it all over the secondary. I mean, they did whatever they wanted. So I think kind of both of those teams have question marks for me. But an unhealthy Bryce Young, is he good enough to just kind of snipe, and kind of throw wherever he wants? I'm not sure.
Right.
So definitely the backup Bama quarterback can't. But so that's even more reason why I like Tennessee plus 7.5.
Right. All right, I like it. All right, so here's the thing: do you like them to win or to cover?
Yeah, good question. Definitely cover.
Do they win?
It all depends on Bryce, to be honest with you. I mean,
but if you play, how about if he plays? Let's say if he plays, do they beat him still in Knoxville? First time, and I said that do they beat him in Knoxville if Bryce Young, which I think he's going to play? I mean, they're talking about he's looking good.
Yeah.
So do you think if you had to pick, do they win?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like it. All right. Yeah, so here's the thing: if they win, does this? So they're #3. Does this knock Alabama out of the playoff contention? And where does the West go? Because Ole Miss still undefeated. Is that the only other undefeated team, I believe? And another team that's gaining steam, and as I get nervous, is the Cowbells. Mississippi State is sneaky good. We can transition. All right, so you do like them. I'm gonna go ahead and make this. I'm gonna take Alabama to win, but I like Tennessee in the points. I like 31.
Yeah, Trey. I'm actually doing the same thing. Bama to win, Tennessee to cover.
Yeah, I'm saying something like 31-28, but I like definitely take that 7.5 or 8 if you can get it. So I like that. But it's so hard to beat Bama. They have a winning pedigree. Tennessee Pittsburgh game in overtime was questionable. Georgia Tech beat them. I know this is the whole trans prophecy games. This team played who looked bad, but I think after that last week, there were 4 turnovers, and in that Texas game when they struggled. Most penalties ever under Saban. If they can clean some of that up, no turnovers, and just clean it up, more disciplined, I think he'll get a really great game. But anyway, 31-28, not to cover.
Yeah.
And then transitioning in that, we can say if looking at the rankings. So let's say if Alabama lost, Justin, does that knock them out? And then how would the SEC look? And then that would probably put Tennessee, who is 6 in the AP. I mean, you could probably put them in the top 5 for sure. They'll play Georgia in the next couple of weeks. I mean, where do you see this going? How about let's just say Bama is not even in the conversation? I mean, what is this looking like? I mean, this is kind of, you look at all the coulda, shoulda, woulda.
It's such a good question because if Texas is back, then Bama has that win over Texas.
Quentin Ewers, they probably win with Quentin Ewers. I mean, that kid's great. Look at him last week against.
100%. Yeah. Yep. That's exactly.
They could easily have 2 losses against Texas schools. Nick Saban's looking at retiring.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, if Texas continues on this path, well, Bama has that win in their back pocket. So I think they could kind of sustain a loss like Tennessee. And then I think they still find their way into the playoffs with a close loss.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, that's gonna be really interesting. Another one of the big matchups, real quick, we didn't really look at it, but how about that Michigan-Penn State game? And is Penn State for real? They're trending, smoked Auburn when they were all in earlier in the year. I know Auburn is a defeated team now. Coach is probably gonna get fired. So I mean, is that an interesting matchup?
Yeah, this is interesting. So from a betting perspective, the sharps are all over Penn State right now.
Yeah.
And I actually agree with it. So I might even do +7. I mean, they're all over +7 Penn State right now.
And it's I believe they have them in the big house. Do you think that's an advantage? Because I mean, 12 o'clock game, big noon Fox, even though I hate 12 o'clock games, but I mean, big house always helps, right? It's better than a whiteout, better than.
I don't know if it's better than the whiteout, but yeah, definitely be interesting. I'm going to keep my eye on that one. I think if Penn State beats Michigan, I think Ohio State will just absolutely clobber Michigan. That's how good I think Ohio State is this year.
So who's your looking back on it, who is your number one currently if you had to pick hands down? I think I know where you're going with this, and I'll tell you who I think it is too. Who's the most complete team?
I think maybe Ohio State, probably.
The Ohio State, yeah, I agree. I'm with you as a Georgia fan. They just seem like the most complete team. They're scary. The defense is better. CJ Stroud is playing out of his mind. If they get all those wide receivers healthy, because I mean they've been playing banged up. But the only thing is they're bringing it up. The dad's listening to some sports talk, so we'll look at them real quick. And I'll also do Ohio State for all the people. Check out Brutal Truth Buckeyes podcast with my buddy Angry Scott and Casual Fan Chris. We do that weekly. But I'm looking at Ohio State really quick. I mean, they're blowing at everybody, which you're supposed to. My only thing is opening game at home, struggled against, not a great Notre Dame team. What are they? 3-2 average team. Iowa got coming up. All right, at Penn State, this will be, if you look at it, I think it's their first, which is crazy. Last week, Michigan State, this will be a crazy road game. They haven't really been tested on the road. As we know, road games are tough. This might be a whiteout. Penn State beats Michigan, man. Top 5 matchup, maybe top 8, whatever it is. Whiteout. And then they're probably going to want to get revenge from that one. It's going to be at home against Michigan. So that's going to be their 2 tough games. So that road game, but if they go in there and they blast a good Penn State team, I think they got a really good defense. I mean, they're rocking and rolling. So yeah, I think they're the clearly best team. Need to get challenged. One team I'm going to say is really quiet, and I don't think they get any more challenges. Is what do you think about Clemson? DJU playing better. They're kind of, I know you shake your head, not. I mean, but I think you can go ahead and plug them in there. Who else is going to beat them on the schedule? I mean, they can always trip up, but Florida State, you got Syracuse. Do you know anything about Syracuse? The Cuse, saving his job is looking better. Notre Dame's bad. Louisville, South Carolina, they'll blast. I mean, do you see them stumbling at all? I mean, that defense is better. DJU's playing better. I know you don't like him, but I mean, what's your thoughts?
I mean, they almost lost the weight. I just do not. In DJ, we do not trust. Right. I just can't see. He's not a playoff contender. But can you scroll down just a little bit? I
Yep.
think Florida State, Syracuse, and or Louisville
Somebody get some.
could maybe make someone there could maybe have a surprise. Syracuse, for some reason, always plays Clemson close.
If that
Always.
was in the Carrier Dome, as they call it,
Yeah.
that is a dangerous place. It's something like it's the Dome. It's like
Yeah. It's
up in
weird.
New
They always
York.
play Clemson close, but for
They do.
whatever reason.
Just don't get beat by the fruit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Florida State. I was actually at All American Pub, which is our local Florida State bar here. Felt bad for them, 17-3. They were all pumped up at halftime there doing the tomahawk chop, but I was like, that place was dead in the second half. Didn't do anything. So we'll see. Defense is good if they get Breezy playing again. Brian Breezy in that defensive line. I think that secondary is questionable.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. All right. So any like real quick dark horse teams to make a push?
I thought UCLA looked legit.
Okay.
Granted, that was the only game I saw, but I was pretty impressed with UCLA. Watch out for Mississippi State. What's going on with them? Wow.
Cowbells. I think they're better than 16. They need to be
Yeah.
like top 12.
I'm not saying they're a playoff team, but
Yeah.
they might pull off a big upset. I don't know what their remaining schedule is, but
My only thing is bad loss against LSU. Remember earlier in the year? It's like what happened in that game?
That's the only thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but the only other I want are we sold on USC and Lincoln Riley yet? A little better defense. They're up in the Pac-12 after dark. No one really watches those games late. I mean, you believe in them?
Play UCLA soon, so that will be a good matchup.
Yeah.
11,
how about this?
19.
Is this sneaky good against Cameron Rising at the Utes? Tough place to play. The Fighting Mormons.
They just lost to UCLA.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Cameron Rising, that's your boy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a night game. Isn't that kind of weird place to play?
Yeah, it is a little bit.
How about at Arizona after a bye week? This is it right here.
Yeah.
Big game.
Yeah,
at UCLA.
Yeah, that's going to be the big one. Game day might even be there.
The only thing I've been hearing about UCLA, never really been out there, is they're saying the lack of attendance is terrible. Like they only get like 28,000. I don't know if it's like out there, and I mean it's kind of tough.
Yeah,
Notre Dame at home.
They're winning now, so we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, fighting Chip Kelly's, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, got some interesting games. Let's since you asked about it, let's look at that real quick, that Mississippi State game. Mississippi State schedule, because I mean I think they got some brutal. Hey, Mike Lee, Sasquatch. So really impressive win against Arkansas. Didn't have their quarterback Jefferson. At Kentucky, not sure if Will Levis plays. What do you think? Tough coming off. I don't even know where Will Levis, but I mean bad loss against South Carolina. I think Kentucky's done. That's 2 losses. They were talking about them winning the East.
Yeah.
How about this one? Is this going to shut them up? At Alabama, and then you got Georgia coming in town, and then you got Ole Miss. So I mean, 10-2, 9-3, would that be good for them? I don't know if you beat Bama at Bama night game.
If
they got a good defense.
If Bama loses to Tennessee, then Bama's going to come out with vengeance. So
yeah,
I don't know.
But I'm looking at the schedule. I'm seeing maybe 10-2 at the best, 9-3. Hopefully they don't beat us. Yeah, I mean, but you could see 8. You could see 8-4, right?
Yeah.
Bama, Georgia gets some. Ole Miss. Kind of then it goes to Liberty Bowl, one of those bowls, Outback Bowl.
John Deere Classic.
People hate that. Belk Bowl. What's the Charlotte Bowl called now? Oh yeah, Duke Mayo. They change it all the time.
Yeah,
that's more. Well, I mean, South Carolina played last year. It's one of those goals. December 29th at 12 o'clock, one of those snoozy games, You hate hearing that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about you? Well, we already talked about it. I was about to say Heisman Trophy. You like Hendon Hooker. But yeah, I like him down. If he has a really good game against Alabama and he has 3-4 touchdowns and against Georgia, I think he's definitely in the conversation. But as you know, you got to win it. And I think it's more of a quarterback award. But yeah. Should be good.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to mention coming up?
Yeah, I think we covered it.
Good deal. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. Also, I want to give a shout out to
Sure.
talkingdogs.com, which is another great sponsor. They let us post on the website, talk about all their merch. They also have the coffee shop, which talks about anything Georgia related, talks about Vanderbilt, talks about all the recruiting. Georgia got a big recruit yesterday, 4-star out of California, 6'1", 230. He was a UCLA commit, by the way. So hopefully he'll be coming down. He's got 13 yards of carry. I don't know who he's playing against in his league, but
Yeah,
Jermaine,
really.
I think it's Johnson, I think. So anyway, that was a big pickup. But yeah, just appreciate you coming on. And that's Herschel Talkers, and we're out.
All right, appreciate it.